Betmar is your park, Betmar is my park. We love to live here, where folks are friendly. We're glad we found it, there's no place like it. Betmar was made for you and me.
Good morning, Betmar, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, we have Mac McKinnon, Properties President. Mac, say hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
That's good. Thank you for coming today to talk with me.
My pleasure.
All right. Mac, what we're going to try to get out to our residents is how we're moving forward with technology in regards to properties, reporting any type of work that needs to be done to any of the clubhouses, outside properties, everything that you're involved with, which is probably all of Betmar. Go ahead. Why don't you explain to us the new device that you came up with?
All right. To start with, for the background, when I became director of this and the counselor for properties, it turned into one of those things that I seen how many people were working hard, but we were working very hard inside of ourselves. We weren't very efficient. It was the latest thing that comes in is the first thing that gets taken care of. And so the goal was we need to put a system in place so that it can be handed down from person to person. Because as you know, it's an elected position. This isn't a lifetime appointment for sure.
Thank God.
And I wanted to be sure that the knowledge was able to just transfer from leadership person to leadership person and break down cost. The other item that came into play was preventative maintenance. Because we were firefighters and just putting out every issue that came along,
Right.
we really didn't get to do much planning.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing some homework and finding and investigating some software, we came up with the Limble system. And the Limble system allows any user in Betmar to have a phone, use a QR code. You present your phone as if you're going to take a picture with the camera. A web link will pop up inside the picture. You press the link, not the snapshot. Don't take a picture, and it will take you to the form. And it's a Betmar form. Simple 5-6 questions. What's the issue? Describe the issue the best you can. Tell us the best location that you can describe it as. How important is it? Is it non-essential? We got a light bulb that 1 out of 30 light bulbs is out. So it's not very essential, but still needs to be, let somebody know that it needs to be taken care of. To essential, it impacts day to day. And the third one is somebody needs to take a look at this right away. So it might be a tripping hazard, or it might be the only light bulb in that room. So therefore it does impact, and it could be a life safety issue. If a person, any user puts their email address in, by putting their email address in, they'll be notified that it's been touched, it's been handled, and when it's completed, they will get an email it's been completed. Now there's a little bit of a hiccup there because it's a hyperlink, and a hyperlink would require you to click it. And because they want to be sure that things aren't spammed, it may go in your spam folder or your junk folder the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will prompt you to say, what email address did you receive the information on? And when you enter that, it'll retain it, and you shouldn't have to do that every time, but the first time.
Oh, okay.
It keeps track of costs that are associated to it. So as a leadership role, it helps identify that maybe air conditioner number 3 at the Apache Clubhouse has had repetitive service calls for the last 3 years. So it might tell you that it's time for you to start planning on getting a replacement. Or is your vendor doing the right job? Is your vendor just dragging his feet and not taking advantage of you,
Wow.
but not doing what you want? It gives you that history, gives you mean time to failure. How often does it fail? How long does it take you to get it repaired when it does break down? So it's going to be a wealth of knowledge as it builds and continues to grow. And with that, you can assign the tasks. So right now, currently, due to donations, we were able to install a 65-inch TV that had some slight imperfections in it, but it's working great. In the maintenance barn with a donated computer, so there was no cost other than a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse. And right now, Joe in maintenance is able to take a look and get a snapshot of what is needed inside of Betmar for service requests. I think off the top of my head right now, we still have 75
Wow.
open requests.
Mm.
And I believe we've completed 120 since the summertime.
Awesome.
So,
I know that I was your guinea pig on one of these, so I want to let everybody know that this is very easy to use. It's user friendly. All you have to do is answer the questions. And I did put in my email address and I did get replies back, which kept me in touch with what was happening, even though it was a light bulb that I didn't need replaced right away, but we were just trying it out and it does work amazingly to keep you informed of what's happening. So how many people have used this in our park already?
I think I've got 10 different people who've done it. I've got several who are repeat users of it, and it's one of those things. I think as you use it once or twice, it becomes this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to track Mac down or text Mac or stop him at the dinner or at the breakfast or wherever he might be to tell him, and then he forgets. It's a means to be able to put it in, and more people get to see it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did want to say to everybody out there that Mac is not going to events because there's too many people who come up and bug him. So with this new device, hopefully that'll stop. And I was going to get Mac a t-shirt that read, "I'm off duty, do not talk to me."
Well,
But
that's an exaggeration.
no, I know,
but
that was just
yeah,
me.
but it is one of those items, and it's more so I feel guilty because I may not have something to write it down, and I am getting older, so I don't remember everything like I used to.
Right, right. So is there anything else we're trying to do with this here? I know you have them put up where, in all the clubhouses or any special areas in the clubhouse that we should know?
At most of the clubhouses, at all the entrances, exits,
Okay.
so that it's familiar. Um, and there are a couple of key locations. Like I think I put one by the kitchen area because the kitchen seems to be
Right.
a high demand. Got to have it, either be because of dinners or because of bingo. It's one of those that most of the times anything that's happening in the kitchen is essential.
Well, especially in there, anything to do with the ovens or the refrigeration, or I know there was beeps going on, but it was the ice maker, and it could be just a silly thing as a reset button, but it does let you know that something's happening in there. So I think it's going to be a great tool for all of us to use, especially the clubhouse superintendents too, because I know, being one, I get people calling me all the time, and if I can't get in touch with you, I'll
Right.
be using this little tool.
Great. So I won't answer if you call.
Yeah, unless I send you on a personal call. So any other things you'd like to put out there what properties is doing? I know a lot of the brush has been picked up, and I heard there were trucks on plant.
Yes, they did start excavating out the culverts from plant. We still have I'll call them county contractors / FEMA, still picking up debris. They've completed from Betmar on Lakewood to about the office,
Oh, yeah.
and they're now on the south side of Lakewood near Joe, and they're
Okay, yeah.
picking up debris there. We've pretty much wrapped up with our tree vendor who cut up the downed trees and had to cut some of the trees that had too much damage and the trees weren't going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So those two vendors are done, and I still have the stump grinder. I think, according to Jeff, we have maybe 10 more stumps to get ground up.
Wow, that's awesome. I know there was, what, 30 something trees that had to be cut down, or
40 had to be addressed in
Okay.
regards to whether they were laying on the ground or that the arborist, because we bring an arborist in annually
Mhm.
to review our trees on their health. And he had given us 2 suggestions of trees that they should be removed because they were being hollowed out at the base.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that. Anything to say about the golf courses? I know some are open, some holes are closed.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Gold course is open, all 9 holes there. White is now open,
Oh.
but only 8 holes. The 9th hole had a green that was damaged before the storms.
Uh-huh.
But due to the storms, we couldn't get it back in shape the way that Jay wanted it. He's doing a great job out there. And so therefore, that one is still going to let the grass grow. And due to the way to cut grass, you can't let it grow and then cut, 3/4 of the blade. If you do, it damages it, kills it. So you got to go down little bit by little bit by little bit. So it's a time-consuming process.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully that'll be done shortly. In regards to blue took a beating. Particularly the area between 2 and 3 blue. I think we had 14 trees in there, and I think we lost 7.
Wow.
So it is a completely different dynamic that was there now than what we had previously. Greens are coming back a bit, but they still need a lot of work. Not to put a date out there, but I'm hoping maybe by mid-January, the end of January, we'll have blue be at full complement of all our holes.
That'll be awesome. There was so much damage. People don't realize, especially the northerners who weren't here to see what was happening. And I think it's awesome that it only took such a short time, even though people don't think it is, to get everything back to normal with everything you had to do. Kudos to you, Mac. You and your crew did an awesome, awesome job.
Thank you. It's a team effort.
It is, in everything we do here. So I guess we're going to wrap it up today, and want to say thanks again to Mac for taking some time out of his day to sit with me. Until next time, Betmar, have a great day.
On Monday evening, some folks play bingo. On Tuesday morning, they're waiting for donuts. If they're not shuffling, they're probably golfing. Always something there for you and me. Betmar is your park, Betmar is my park. We love to live here, where folks are friendly. We're glad we found it, there's no place like it. Betmar was made for you and me.